I'm Nathan Holbert. I'm an associate professor at Teachers College in the Department of Mathematics, Science, and Technology. And in my research, I design and study playful learning environments that enable young people to make stuff that they care about and to do things about issues and challenges in their world that they care about. I'm going to talk briefly about the Make with Data project. This project was in collaboration with my colleague Cassie Zhu from the Columbia Climate School, and it was funded by the National Science Foundation's iTest program. The goal of this research was to examine how framing data science as a tool for addressing issues important to young people in their local communities might impact who participates in STEM professions and STEM domains. In this project, we designed a 2-year after-school club that invited high school students and teachers throughout New York City to use data to address challenges that matter to their local communities. And a key innovation for this project was that we were focusing on flattening the hierarchy between the teachers and students. So rather than just give students projects that we sort of pre-made for them, we invited the teachers and students to collaborate equally on identifying what the projects might be, finding the data, analyzing the data, and also in disseminating the results. The issues that the students and teachers explored range across a variety of topics, including things like the mental health of high school students, drug use among teens, inequitable policing, and even things like road quality. And together, the teachers and students worked with professional data scientists to find open source data that was related to the topics that they were interested in investigating. Working with those data scientists, the teachers and the students looked at the open source data and they used professional grade tools to try to make sense out of what these problems actually were. And not surprisingly, the questions that they thought they were investigating started to change. So for example, a question about the mental health of high school students started to transform into a question of accessibility. So what is the availability of mental health facilities across the city? And how accessible are those? Is there public transportation between the schools and the various mental health facilities that would allow students to get to those spaces safely? Teams were then able to present their findings to policymakers throughout New York City, as well as at the National Science Foundation's iTest Summit and at the FabLearn Conference, which is a conference we host annually at Teachers College around maker and computer science education. The students and teachers then also went back to their schools and started their own Make with Data clubs, kind of taking the practices that we had been exploring and adapting them to address the actual needs of their local school communities. So that this project could exist beyond the funding years that we had. So this was a project that I think is a nice example, as Tom said earlier, about how we can sort of take the expertise of these various institutions and bring them together to solve actual challenges that we face in our city. And we're continuing this work with a particular interest in starting to integrate data journalism into the practices that the young people are learning.